that just basically sounds like you admitted it. Yeah. And that's pretty much what happened to this woman. Yeah. She, even when you throw your hands up, like, what do you want me to say? That I did it? Like, that already. Right.
And that's what she did. Yeah, that's what happened. The state of Texas has had 574 executions already. There are 27 states that have the death penalty. 4 states offer execution.
So they're talking about the death penalty on the reel today.
Yeah. The death penalty to me is very, it's unequal when it comes to people of color and poor people because they can't afford the legal expertise. Yes. And so that's why we need to put a moratorium on it. It's not fair. And this is another example. This woman, Melissa's example, there was evidence that was not presented to the jury. Right. There was investigations that was not presented to the jury, and she just snuck by. If it wasn't for, the celebrity endorsements, if it wasn't for the groups, coming to speak on her behalf, and they always do it at the last minute. So that's another issue that I have is that we gotta, try to, fund these groups, and then it's like it takes money to do that. So if it's taking money, and if you know that poor people can't afford the legal representation, put a moratorium on this, and let's, this is supposed to be a country for all of us. We're all supposed to be granted the right to have, equal and fair representation, and it's not. And this is just another example, and we're killing innocent people, especially black and brown people. So something has to be done about it. Oh,
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Now, another national conversation is the idea of protecting freedom of speech. This notion is the reason billionaire Elon Musk has just closed a deal to purchase Twitter.
Okay. So, someone in Texas did something, and they're trying to give her the death penalty. I think she killed her children or something. But I guess they kind of got a false confession out of her too for it. It's like when someone's harassing you about something that you don't know what they're talking about, but you kind of admit to it. See. Because you don't know what they're talking about, right? And the problem is you have blackout amnesia sometimes, right? I do. Now, I'm watching this movie called Amorous Amnesia, though. And it's about this chick who gets amnesia. And anyway, what happens is she gets into this wreck, and in the hospital she wakes up, but before she wakes up, her husband is sleeping with the secretary, and then he gets the phone call telling him she was in the hospital. And so he goes and sees her, right? And then her lover shows up, and her friend, right? Well, her friend first and then the lover, right? But then they go off together and they have sex. So we have 2 sex scenes in the middle of all this, right? And then when she finally gets home from the hospital, right, she reads her diary and finds out the guy was telling her the truth. But he's cheated on her with her friend, right? And then, again, she don't sleep with her husband for a while, but then she finally, invites her ex-boyfriend over, sort of, right? Because she finds out she's married, but then she don't sleep with her husband for a while. But then she reads her diary, and then she finds out that they were having an affair, right? And she calls him over, and then they have sex, and then he tells her he's been having an affair with her friend, right? And then she tries to divorce the husband, and this is her therapist right there, and that's her, right? So they're two women, right? Right. So again, but this is a movie, right? If your life was like this, it's hectic. That's what I mean too, right? But see, I try not to do anything, especially violence, to limit, right? That's why, if, like the Comcast girl, if she came in, she did something to make me confused, right? And if we did something, she had the power over me, not me over her, right? Right. And I'm coming to before she leaves the subdivision. And I catch her when she's coming back to the house, right? Towards the house, right? And again, right, she could be the issue there, right? She said yes at first, but then changed her mind towards the end, right? And then it was too late, probably, right? But I forgive her, too. I don't even remember her name, right? Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? But I forgive her, too, because I was confused. She was confused.